All right, it's just after 6 on August 8th, 2022. We'll call to order the regular meeting of the Two Rivers City Council. Roll call, please.
Woodruff.
Here.
Plager. Here. Brenwald. Swanson. Passy.
Here.
Erickson. Here. Redden.
Here. Pledge of Allegiance.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, are there any additions or changes to the agenda?
Yes, Mr. Chair, I'd like to request the addition of new business 8, a resolution to consider authorizing the Other Place Bar to sell liquor on sale on city property pending the approval of Lake County for the sale of liquor on their property in the area of the 500 block between South Avenue and the alley between South and First Avenues on August 20th, 2022 for the Shenandoah concert, providing they provide adequate evidence of insurance and comply with city and state rules and regulations regarding the sale of liquor.
Is that all for additions? Next, I will go for a motion of approval of the agenda.
So, second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries. Next up, we have appearances. Number 1 is Paul Iverson, 809 4th Avenue, in regards to attorney invoices.
Third Avenue. I was just wondering, I think I got the answer earlier, but just wondering if the city had gotten any invoices for Attorney Nguyen's legal fees on a lawsuit against certain city employees concerning the mayoral recall, and by as far as what I can tell, is 3 individuals who live outside the city limits.
Yes, I gave a report, and I just want to clarify. So the invoice we received was from Lockridge, Grindle, and Nowen for the Jezierski versus the City of Two Harbors. The total invoice amount was $35,773.15. $30,037.65 was from May, and then the final amount for $5,735.50 was for expenditures in June.
Thank you. Now, I was 500 feet away, but the Twins did score that score yesterday. It was easy to see.
All right, next we have Tony Wangan, 1627 7th Avenue, in regards to the upcoming election.
Greetings and thank you, City Council members and participants and observers for having me. My name is Tony Wanda and I reside at 1627 7th Avenue, Two Harbors. I want to address the city residents on this eve of the primary election. The reason being that primary elections are often considered to be confusing or possibly even benign. Many voters adopt the theory that primary elections are not as important and prefer to wait for the general election when there are fewer choices. I've seen this pattern in my 2+ decades of serving as an election judge. A primary election, the first round of voting, is held in every state, though not always on the same date. The purpose is to narrow the field of candidates and determine who will continue to the general election in November. There may also be questions that only concern your state, town, or community. There can be several candidates running for any particular office in a primary election, and that is where the confusion may come into play. If voters are unprepared and or uneducated about who the candidates are and are not comfortable choosing randomly, they may opt to skip voting in the primary. If this is something you're experiencing, there is still time to get the information you need to vote according to your beliefs and political views. Both of our local newspapers last Friday have information listed on how to prepare for tomorrow's election. The city of Two Harbors is experiencing a rare situation in that there are 2 city council seats being vied for by 3 candidates each. I believe this is evidence that people are ready to see changes in our local government. This also puts the importance of the local primary vote up a notch, as only 2 of the 3 candidates can proceed to the general election. You have all had opportunity to educate yourselves on these candidates through the newspapers, the KTWH radio station interviews, and of course social media. Ward 1 residents have opportunity to vote for their own ward and for the council member at large, while all the rest of us are privileged to vote for council member at large. I use the word privilege because voting is your privilege as well as your civic duty. Whomever you choose, your voice is only heard if you vote. The city needs each and every one of you to vote in the primary. The candidates of your choice cannot advance to the general unless you vote. The same is true of whether or not you want to see the mayor recalled. Your vote is your voice. Make your voice heard in the most democratic way and vote. Thank you.
Thank you. We'll move on to administrative reports. Seeing that our administrator is out this evening, I'll move on to committee reports. Personnel Committee.
Mr. Chair, I think everything from the Personnel Committee is under the consent agenda with regards to posting of positions.
Yep.
I want to get that crew up and ready for, I know we don't want to say this, the upcoming winter. We need to get our grader drivers trained in, so that, I think that's all I have for that one.
All right. Public Arts Commission. Okay. Planning Commission.
Let's see, Planning Commission met last week. Mr. Iverson was at the meeting and gave us some information regarding 25-foot lots and how those lots could be upgraded and turned into buildable and usable space in the city of Two Harbors. We did discuss the resignation of our city planner and talked about, we did meet Jim Rich, who has worked as our building inspector and will be helping with the zoning part of the planning commission, and just tried to have a little discussion about how to move forward with the planning commission. I don't think there was a whole lot of other discussion other than we have some updates that we need to look at our next meeting, Chapter 11 of the B2 zoning district changes, and I think that showed it.
Utilities Committee.
Oh my gosh. Are you tired of me yet?
You're on a roll.
I guess. Utilities, we looked at the samples. I hope everybody get a chance to look at a couple of the samples that we have for the outside wall around the wastewater treatment plant. We did have a discussion about the development that is between the wastewater treatment plant and the water treatment plant. More to come on that at our next meeting. We discussed the consideration of the blocks added to the 2324 Street project that the county had suggested on 4th Avenue. Took a look at that. I think that's about it. Oh, and just an FYI, we did the water leak that we had on 1st Avenue, which was much more profound than we thought. We thought it was 80,000 gallons a day. It was 150,000 gallons a day. So we're glad that one is not leaking anymore. And Mr. Chair, if I might, Public Affairs did meet, and Jackie's unable to be with us this evening and asked me to just follow up on that. We did have discussion at our 5 o'clock meeting about the revisions to the code that we've brought forward. We did talk about the Charter Commission, and that kind of falls under state statute, so that probably will be a discussion once we get the Charter Commission up and running again. Jackie wants to make sure that the budget committee looks into the electric car charger that she proposed at the RJ Pool Information Center, make sure that that's discussed during budget. We discussed the fireworks, G&M displays, apparently we're under contract one more year with them. The question that arises is we have always used the Saturday of Heritage Days as our rain day, with discussion from Chief Schlangen that probably isn't going to be feasible because of the area that they need to block off during the shooting of those fireworks would not work during the Heritage Days event because there's not enough space. That space down behind the depot is all being used for other events, you know, the helicopter rides and that kind of stuff. So we're gonna ask Mark to give us a couple of other alternative places that we could possibly use if we wanted to stick with the Saturday of Heritage Days. Otherwise, we may have to look for an alternative date. You know, during the pandemic, we did it on Labor Day. Some people weren't too excited about that, some people were, but just so that'll be a further discussion. And we're also gonna discuss our review of the bylaws of the Theta Commission at our next meeting with the city attorney, and I think everything else is in the packet, so thank you.
Thank you. All right. Next up, I have a resolution approving the consent agenda items.
So moved.
Second.
Patty, would you mind reading those items in?
Sure. Number 1, approving minutes from the July 25th, 2022 regular city council meeting. 2, allowing claims against the city of Two Harbors to be paid on August 9th, 2022. 3, approving payroll for the second half of July 2022. 4, authorizing payment to Lakehead Constructors for pay application number 9 for the wastewater treatment plant project in the amount of $1,084,024.47. 5, authorizing payment to Lake County for pay application number 18 for the 2021-2022 street improvement project for an amount of $134,147.59. 6, accepting the proposal of AVI Systems for the purchase of a cablecast BioStream server for public access television for an amount of $10,900. 7, accepting the proposal of Nelson Technology for the purchase of an odorant injection pump for the city's natural gas border station for an amount of $4,781. 8, scheduling a meeting of the City of Two Harbors Canvassing Board for 5 p.m. on Friday, August 12th, 2022 in the council chambers at City Hall. 9, accepting the recommendation of the Public Affairs Committee to establish dates for the 2024 camping season. 9, approving the request of Jessica Carlson of the Moose Lodge to be open on the following Sundays in 2022 in accordance with their on-sale club license: September 11th and 25th, October 9th, 16th and 30th, November 6th, 13th and 20th, December 11th and 18th, and January 1st of 2023. 11, accepting the internal bid of David Dahlberg for the position of Public Works Specialist 3. 12, accepting the recommendation of the Personnel Committee to authorize the internal and external posting of bulletins for the positions of Public Works Specialist 1, 2, and 3. 13, authorizing the recommendation of the Personnel Committee to authorize the internal and external posting of the bulletins for the position of Assistant Public Works Director. 14, accepting the internal bulletin of Chad Schultz for the position of lead lineman in the electrical department.
Thank you. Is there any
I just
discussion?
had one question. We accepted internal bulletin for the position of Public Works Specialist 3, and then we're posting it again in the following one, number 12. For number Public Works
Yes,
Specialist number 3.
because there's,
Multiple open
There's
positions
okay. There's multiple.
due to
Okay.
retirement and people advancing in different areas.
Okay.
All right. If there's no other discussion, I'll look for a roll call on that.
Woodruff,
Yes.
Glazer,
Yes.
Swanson,
Yes.
Passy,
Yes.
Erickson,
Yes.
Redden.
Yes. Next up, we have communications. Could you read those in quick for me, too, Patty?
Of course. Number 1, a memorandum from Joe Rain and Brian Golden of Bolton and Mink providing engineering project updates. 2, a memorandum from Joe Rain of Bolton and Mink providing a status update on the 2021-2022 street improvement project. And 3, a memorandum from Jennifer Selchow, Bolton and Mink, providing an update on the wastewater treatment plant project. 4, a letter from Teresa Sunday of MediaCom, providing information on the implementation of programming changes and rate adjustments.
Thank you. Next up, we have unfinished business. Unfinished business item number 1 is a motion declaring the second reading of an ordinance prohibiting the sale, manufacture, growth, or distribution of cannabis or THC for 1 year.
So moved. Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed?
Aye.
Majority wins, motion carries. Next up, we have new business item number 1, authorizing payment to Bolton and Mink in the amount of $4,486 for professional services for the Odegaard Trail project.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion on this item? If not, roll call, please.
Woodruff,
Yes.
Glazer,
Yes.
Swanson,
Yes.
Passy,
Yes.
Erickson,
Yes.
Redden.
Yes. New business item number 2, a resolution authorizing payment to Bolton and Mink in the amount of $25,732.50 for professional services for the 2023-2024 street and alley improvement project. So moved.
Second.
Any discussion on this item? Roll call, please.
Woodruff,
Yes.
Glazer,
Yes.
Swanson,
Yes.
Passy,
Yes.
Erickson,
Yes.
Redden.
Yes. New business number 3, resolution authorizing payment to Bolton and Mink in the amount of $13,832.50 for professional services for the 2021 and 2022 street and alley improvement project.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion on this item? Roll call, please.
Woodruff,
Yes.
Glazer,
Yes.
Swanson,
Yes.
Passy,
Yes.
Erickson,
Yes.
Redden.
Yes. New business item number 4 is a motion accepting the recommendation of Public Affairs Committee declaring first reading of an ordinance amending the city code, section 2.40, boards, commissions, and committees.
So moved. Second.
Any discussion on this item? Not all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed?
Aye.
Majority wins, motion carries. New business item number 5 is a motion accepting the recommendation of the Public Affairs Committee declaring first reading of an ordinance amending the city code, section 2.46, planning commission.
So moved. Second.
Any discussion on this item? If not, all.
Mr. Chair, I'm not seeing that I'm looking through the notes, is that in our,
Yes, it was in the packet. I believe second to last page or third.
is this still an issue of residency, is that what we're looking at?
As far as all of these are concerned, yes, they were residency issues
And membership.
and membership, correct.
There's a copy of the packet.
Yeah, I got it, thank you.
All right. So I have a motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. New business item number 6 is a motion accepting the recommendation of the Public Affairs Committee declaring first reading of an ordinance amending the City Code Section 2.51, Two Harbors Housing and Redevelopment Authority.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion on this item? If not, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. And new business item number 7 is a resolution accepting the recommendation of the Public Affairs Committee adopting Two Harbors City Council meeting public comment guidelines and rules of civility for public comment.
Second.
Discussion on this item. Go ahead, Councilor Erickson.
I just wanted to give a thank you to Attorney Cosley for all the work that he did providing us for the resolutions and motions we just had. That was a very helpful public affairs meeting. Thank you.
Any other comment? If not, roll call please.
Woodruff,
Yes.
Clauser,
Yes.
Swanson,
Yes.
Passy,
Yes.
Erickson,
Yes.
Brennan.
Yes. All right, number 8, if you could read that in for me.
A resolution to consider authorizing the Other Place Bar to sell liquor at on sale on city property pending approval of Lake County for the sale of liquor on their property in the area of the 500 block between South Avenue and the alley between South and First Avenues on August 20th, 2022 for the Shenandoah concert, providing they provide adequate evidence of insurance and comply with city and state rules and regulations regarding the sale of liquor.
So,
Second.
any discussion on this item? If not, roll call please.
Woodruff,
Yes.
Clauser,
Yes.
Swanson,
Yes.
Passy,
Yes.
Erickson,
Yes.
Brennan.
Yes. And that concludes our normal agenda. Next I look for announcements.
I would like to take the time to just thank everybody who pitched in to make the Tall Ships event safe and successful event. This included the DNR who planted flowers in the planters on Tuesday of last week, public safety who was very much in evidence throughout the community, throughout the whole event, public works who put up signs and picked up signs today, all the volunteers that pitched in, businesses that provided drinks and popcorn on the main street, the county that repainted the paint stripes on the roads Wednesday morning. The little things that really made a big difference and made the community look good. Thank you, everybody.
Go ahead, Councilor Erickson.
Over the weekend, it was shared with me, in addition to all the things that Councilor Passy mentioned, was that St. Luke's and the clinic also had extended hours and opportunities of their staff to be available in case of healthcare needs, and I just thought that was pretty fantastic and appreciated all the work of the healthcare industry as well. So just to compliment what you said, thank you.
Yeah, did I forget the helicopter that was at the fire station?
Very good. Well, if nothing else, I'll look for a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call please, Patty.
Woodruff,
Yes.
Clauser,
Yes.
Passy,
Yes.
Swanson,
Yes.
Erickson,
Yes.
Brennan.
Yes, we're adjourned.